Welcome to a new series that I will be making with FM18 after the recent problems with Italia that got them outside of the next World Cup. I will be making from where the game starts, which is well before the Sweden elimination leg, into the middle of the qualification group. Past and batches, and left it all around the middle without touching anything, and this is the result. This I chose because it's the formation that I use the most, and hence the one I am more comfortable using. So I might be trying to do it with the 3 man at the back that has been classic in the Italian national team in the recent years. We'll need to have a minimum of 3 strikers, though ideally it should be a fourth who can play striker, to have 2 players for the up front 2 in the 3-5-2, and also enough players to have 6 that can play center back at the back. So of the fullbacks, at least 2 of the 4 fullbacks should be able to play as center backs, which anyway is something that I like, in that I prefer my fullbacks to be strong in the air and therefore be more of converted center backs to fullbacks than the modern offensive fullbacks that are not that good in the air. The exact way the systems will work I will decide once I have made the international collapse, when the time to register the next squad comes and I know exactly what players do I have at my disposal. The first thing I do when I first take part of a national team is to remove everyone from the squad and build up a new squad from scratch. So I set this in the national pool to statistics, league, average rating from best to worst, and then I go position by position, side by side, to choose the ones I want. I will be skipping this. It's not only about what is the average rating that they achieved, because some might be achieving that in a very low division, and a player who has an 8 in Serie C is not going to be one that is able to compete at this level. And anyway, at this stage where there has only been 1 league match for those who have played, it's still not a very good indicator, because one might have had a very easy match, another have had very tough matches, and the ratings not be actually a good reflection of what they will be able to do through the season. So in this first selection, the attributes will have more weight than they might have in the future selections. I got the squad. I got up Buffon, Marchetti and Sirigu. For the goalkeeper, I'm not sure who will be taking the main role, so I think it will be Marchetti. For the left back, I have the Chiellini, the left back that is actually a center back, and maybe that the first left back when using the 4-3-3 will be Antonelli. However, for the right side, I would have picked Matteo Darmian as the center back. He's not really a center back in the game. Perhaps the center back is not red for him. I haven't checked. I remember that in FM18 where I was playing Torino and had him in my team, he was a center back primarily and could play in the right side. But he is injured, and I've seen no other player that can play in the red fullback position that is more of a center back position. Therefore I went for two offensive right backs in Mattia De Siglio as the second choice and Zappacosta as the first one. Up front I got up to 3 to 5 players who can play in the striker position. Perhaps I could have given up one of La Padula and or Ciro Immobile to bring some more depth to one of the other positions. In choosing, I have not given too many mind to the familiarity of position, as some players that are going to be playing in the defensive midfield position are not considered to be there where they played best. Daniele De Rossi is the only one who is considered to have the DM as his best position. This is going to be how the first form of the 4-3-3 will look like, with Antonelli pushing up from the back up to the byline, stretching the pitch to the side, while Zappacosta will be started perhaps a bit more advanced, but not be so adventurous going forward, but still providing some threat from around the midfield area. De Rossi will be distributing the ball from in front of the defense, protecting it, giving it a little of screen, with Insigne playing around this hole as a playmaker, distributing balls to Gagliardini, who should be moving around in support of him, and Parolo that should be sourcing forward to John Ciro Immobile to receive the crosses from Candreva, who is an excellent crosser. We will be using control because mentality, because I want these players to be more adventurous in their play, taking risks, getting the ball forward fast and fluid, because I don't want Immobile to become too isolated from the rest and keep a compact shape. I'm not going to add any more team instructions, and the only player instructions that I have set right at the start are for Antonelli to remain close to the sideline, and that's all. The 3-5-2 formation will have a look like this. It is going to be a defensive mentality with a structured shape, to be played more of a counter-attack style, with the wing backs in attack to provide the width, while Giaccherini will play as the main playmaker to the left of Parolo, who should be that enough high up the pitch to join the front two. Immobile will start as a support complete forward, and Insigne as deep line playmaker on attack. Immobile is set to hold up ball. Ideally, the typical attack should be look like a fast ball to Ciro Immobile to decide whether to continue it into a counter attack, with Insigne overlapping him to get on to a ball, a pass with perhaps Parolo coming a bit later, or Immobile will decide to send it back to the midfield to make something more carefully. As team instructions, this time we have no player instructions for anybody, because the hold-up ball is built in the complete forward support role that Immobile has. It will be me to play more direct passing, play faster tempo, play wider to avoid getting too congested in the middle of the pitch, and work ball into the box, because without it we will have the risk that if Immobile receives the ball too soon and he will be isolated, instead of playing others into the match, he will be trying hopeful long shots. And this hopefully might make it less of an issue, but it is likely that even so more chances will be made to the tactic. And that is all in terms of tactics. I think this will be the first chapter, and in the second there will be the first competitive match.